Hello, Ninglings. Oftentimes when I'm in class or just riding in a car, I think about how I'd react in random hypothetical situations. These things I'm sure that every person has thought of before, but these are my mind crack, and I go and I think about these questions and situations whenever I find myself getting bored. One of these hypothetical situations would be what I'd do if I ever won the lottery or got $1 million, or however you want to phrase that question. I'm actually pretty frugal with my money. I don't like spending money, even when I go into a gas station and decide whether I want to spend 99 cents on an Arnold Palmer. I usually leave the gas station empty-handed just because I didn't want to spend a measly dollar. The first thing I'd do if I won the lottery would probably be buy my dad a Corvette and put 10% of the money I won or whatever aside for giving purposes. I believe I'd do that, and then also I wanted to do something for This Star Won't Go Out. I'd try to do something for them. But most of the money would be for myself, if I were to be honest. I'd probably spend a bunch of money on all the instruments that I have on my list of instruments I want to get. I'd buy all the top-of-the-line recording stuff and buy a small house and then save the rest of it so I can live for the rest of my life. And if I had that money, I'd probably get an Arnold Palmer every time I went to the gas station. Maybe. Another situation I find myself thinking about would be what I'd do if an intruder came into my house or came in to the school while I'm at school. If an intruder came into the house, I'd just open the window, get out, jump off the roof, and do an awful lot of running. At school, though, it's harder to tell what I'd do if there was an intruder because we're a lot higher off the ground and the windows are only about this big, but I still think I'd probably just jump out the window and run because I guess when in doubt, run it out. I think a lot about what I'd do if somebody told me I only had 1 month left to live. I'd probably spend that whole month with my family and maybe go skydiving a day, because I guess might as well. But the rest of the month I think I'd probably just be writing letters and maybe even make a video. I actually think it'd be cool to play like a video of myself vlogging at my own funeral, being like, "Hello, I'm dead. Yay." I'd act like nothing had happened and just tell a bunch of jokes that would knock 'em dead. Anyways, when I was a kid, I thought it would be really awesome if I had the power where I could just think of a food and that food would appear in my mouth and I could eat it. I don't think of that question as much anymore because there's so much good food that I could choose from, and it always makes me hungry when I try to think about it. The last hypothetical that I think about, I actually have it completely figured out. And that is the question of what superpower I would choose if I could choose any superpower. Now, whenever anybody is asked this question, probably 95% of people will say flying because they dream about it and in their dreams it's awesome, and who wouldn't want to fly? But that is not that well thought out, because if you had the power of telekinesis, you could be able to control things with your mind and move them, and also fly yourself with your mind. But I can even one-up that, and that is to have the ability of having ghost powers. Just think about it. You have invisibility, you can walk through walls, disappear, and fly. Yo, Danny Phantom, who was just 14 when his parents built a very strange machine. That being the greatest power, encapsulating 3 powers in one, ending my 5th and final hypothetical situation questions of this, whatever it is. Tell me if any of you think of these same things in the comments, or if you have other mind crack that you want to tell me about. But until then, I will see you next Tuesday. I tried to do one of those cool things that sometimes people do, and it wasn't cool at all. And I have 20 seconds of battery left. Goodbye.